Good morning. I'm Sandy Shook. Welcome to Coffee with Sandy. Listen to my show every Saturday morning at 9:30 on KRDO News Radio at 105.5 FM and 1240 AM. If you'd like to hear the past shows, go to krdonewsradio.com and search for podcasts to listen to them, all of them. If you want to be on the show or you're interested in sponsoring the show, you can reach out to me by text at 719-339-9637. Coffee with Sandy promotes connections with our business owners and entrepreneurs here in the Pikes Peak region. Why? Because their journey and story has changed lives. Their journey is important to share and should be heard. Our guest today is Mark Biddle with Connectionmmark. Hello and welcome, Mark.
How are you doing, Sandy?
Well, that was my question to you. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to watching what you're building here and excited to get started.
Well, thank you. I am very excited myself because you have been a part of this journey for a long, long time with me. So, tell our listeners when your business first started.
When did my business first start? I started my business about 29 years ago while working in the mortgage industry. I was in the financial services industry for quite a long time, and I realized real quick I love working with people. I'm tired of seeing people struggle, and my entire career I have committed myself to really supporting others in the best way that I know how, which is asking them what they want to do and helping them get there.
Where are you located?
We're located up near Woodman and I-25. We're in the New Altitude co-working space, so we call that our Connectionmmark headquarters. And we just love the family that we have in our space.
How is the best way to contact you?
The best way to get in touch with us is really going to connectionmmark.com, filling out and I'm interested in learning more, and sending us an email. Our email is Maisel, M-A-I-S-E-L @connectionmmark.com. The funny story about Maisel is that's my golden retriever.
Aww.
And we run our business with a golden heart.
Oh, I didn't know that that's what the reason was behind that. That's really cool. I knew that it was your dog, but yeah, the heart behind it.
The little Maisel.
Yes. So I have one quick question for you, just to be able to get started. And that question is, you don't describe yourself as a consultant or a coach. How do you describe what you actually do?
It depends on who I'm sitting across the table from. Sometimes it's just, my name's Mark, who are you? Titles get in the way of really defining what others think that you do. My job is to really find out what they want, and some days I may show up as a mentor, some days I may show up as a coach, some days I may do the work and be the consultant, but many days it's just finding out what the client needs and showing up how they need me to show up.
Yeah, I definitely have been in the rooms with you when somebody new has come in and we get the conversation started really about what is it that you want to work on today. And when we do that, it's kind of hard that somebody new doesn't know really what they want to talk about. And it was amazing how different things come up. We're back. I am Sandy Shook, and this is Coffee with Sandy. Heard every Saturday morning at 9:30, KRDO News Radio at 105.5 FM and 1240 AM. Our guest today is Mark Biddle with Connectionmmark. So, Mark, I have a few more questions for you.
Here we go.
Yes.
Bring them, Sandy, let's go.
Because of course, you mentioned what you do and how you get people to talk about their business and some of the struggles that they might have, or even some of the celebrations that they have. What surprises people most after working with you?
I think what I hear most often from clients after working with me is, I didn't realize what I didn't know. And when I talk to clients, my first goal is, let's find out what they do know, uncover what they don't know, and then provide the resources so that they can get to know. And it's supportive, it's collaborative, and at the end of the day, they say, OMG. Now I know how to run a business.
Yes.
Where were you when I started?
Right.
I wish I would have met you decades ago.
Well, when we first actually met up, I was specific to what my needs were. You had been in lending for 20 some odd years, and here I am, going, I don't think I'm that great of a lender. I need help. And I came to you. And after, I don't know how long, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it was that we worked on, after I was able to go through the whole
Applied Decision Intelligence, Strategic Business and Communications Plan. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But after I went through that, I couldn't believe how I was no longer all over the place in my head, where I was actually more direction. I had more direction. I felt like I did anyway. You've spent your entire career helping business owners. And what first drew you to that kind of work?
What first drew me to wanting to support our local community was being a community member. I was growing up in Des Moines, Iowa. My parents were divorced when I was 6 years old, and my mother moved to a small rural community. And you being from Minnesota, we understand
Don't
that.
tell all my secrets.
Yeah. Community in the Midwest means if you need something, you can always go and know who you can ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 12 years old living in Storm Lake, I would shop at Benjamin Franklin. I would go to Brass Buckle. I'd have my favorite restaurant. And there was a big box store that opened up outside of town. And I started to watch Main Street go dark. Well, at 12 years old, that was devastating because I had friends whose parents were losing their job. And that effect, watching that happen really left an impression on who do I want to support. When I graduated high school, I wanted to help children in lower income families. Then I started studying about business, and I learned, well, businesses are no different than children and lower income families, so we're going to do that. So that's how I got started. Yeah. My passion is really about supporting our communities.
And then you moved out here.
Moved out here in 2008.
And did you do lending out here?
When I moved out here, I had the opportunity to start up a mortgage brokerage with one of the real estate firms. I did that, but coming from the real estate industry, I was a mortgage compliance expert. So I started seeing some of the obstacles that came when you're an in-house mortgage lender working with a real estate business, and I started seeing how that was so convoluted. So no, I actually became a banquet server at Marriott. I always wanted to bartend. And that's how I networked myself into town.
Very nice. How did you get out of the banquet serving then? What was the next step from there? Because I want to be able to let people know that when they get in a situation where they always feel like they're stuck, what was it that you actually did to get yourself out of there? Even though I know that's a great career for a lot of people that get into it.
I loved it. They kept trying to promote me from within the organization to become restaurant manager or wherever it was. My goal is to, if I show up to commit to something, I'm going to give everything I have. Mm-hmm. If it's being a janitor, I'm going to make sure that it's the best that I could do. And that's how my approach was to banquets. So how did I get out of it? I didn't. I took a position as the lead bartender over at the Garden of the Gods Club at the Kissing Camels Grill. Mm. And my purpose was to meet people, and the best way to meet people is to show up, do a great job, and have them continue talking about you when you are no longer in the room.
Yeah.
And I remember Stan came up to me one day and he said, Mark, you're the best bartender this club's ever seen. What's your story? And just like you're able to pull out of your guests, that allowed me to tell him where I'd been, what I've done, and where I wanted to go. And next thing I knew, he was networking me around town.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool that you had somebody that was kind of your what I call wingman.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was. But he became part of my community, and I became part of his. And that's what's beautiful about what you're developing, but what we have here in the Pikes Peak region.
Mm-hmm. And then you went to work for another bigger corporation. We don't have to name names, but because you're no longer there and you're doing your own business now, what were some of the experiences there that taught you about the way owners were being served?
You know, I love talking about this story because regardless of what the name of the organization was, I was a local executive with a Fortune 150. And owning 7 businesses prior to moving to Colorado Springs and having great success and experiencing great failure, I took those same experiences that only I had into that role. As a small business owner, it is about visibility. It's about developing relationships, establishing trust, really understanding what the goal is that you want to accomplish. And within the first 18 months, we became the best brand in the entire 37-state region, but that wasn't based on my efforts. It was because I would ride along with the technicians to go out and see how they work on the job. I would look at the neighborhoods we're going into. I would be able to talk how they communicate with others in the community so that it wasn't a completely different experience with how I was communicating what we do.
Did that annoy people when you were going around with them though? And
it scared the first couple, and then they said, no, he picked up the tools, he started getting, like, there is nothing that, if there's anything to be done, there's nothing beneath what I'm willing to do. It's if I need to walk around back and flip a switch to support someone that I'm working with, like, of course I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think that you do that a lot for people, and the impact that you make is hard for you to see. But I have seen so much progress in some of the people that you've actually worked with in the last, 10 months, 11 months, however long it's been that we've been working together. And also me, so it's kind of cool to be able to celebrate who you are and what your business is and what it's becoming.
The beautiful thing about that, Sandy, is not only from what you've experienced, it's watching someone come in, meet with me for the first time, and struggle articulating what they want to do. And that should be the easiest thing that we do. Mm-hmm. Because we're being told from this opinion, and this person has another opinion, and we need to do this, or have you thought about doing this? Everyone wants to tell you what to do. When was the last time somebody asked you what they want to do?
Yeah.
And
well, don't I always call you and go, okay, and you're like, how many people did you hear that from?
That's right. So it's awesome to see the growth and development, because we don't grow businesses. I think that's the biggest misconception in business coaching or business consulting. I'm going to hire someone and they're going to fix my business. Mm-hmm. We don't do that. We develop people, and better people develop better decisions, and better decisions create stronger communities.
You often say the decision before the decision. I see that in writing and I'm like, what does that mean?
The decision before the decision is really a fancy way of saying root cause analysis. People come to me and they say, this is the problem, and I'm just going to throw marketing out there. I need more leads, I need more marketing. Many times, it's not that they need more marketing, they need to become more productive and efficient in how they are running their business, so that when those leads come on, they have the capability to work with them. So the decision before the decision is, when was the last time that you made a mistake? Now, you're perfect. I compare you to Mary Poppins.
Oh, yeah.
But
because I have the big bag that I have all the...
Where did that coat tree come from, Sandy? That's brilliant. Yes. The decision before the decision is, we want to focus on what we think is the problem, but the root cause of that problem is what we really need to focus on, because if we fix the surface level issue, it's going to keep coming back. So we facilitate a process that allows clients to understand how to go through the decision-making process with the proper data and information so that they can make the decision that is best for them.
So that's how you had my head stop spinning, right?
Well,
and I can just hear now the sound effect's going to get me.
Who said your head stopped spinning?
What has been the most rewarding success story that you've witnessed? Besides me, of course.
Yeah, besides you. I mean, there are so many of them. And they are on different, every client is different. So the most recent success story is we finished an applied decision intelligence report for a client about 4 months ago. He came in to meet with me on a monthly, regular scheduled appointment. And about 40 minutes into that appointment, he finally says, "Oh yeah, I got a purchase order." I said, "Great, you got a purchase order." And he hands it to me. Well, it's for $228 million.
Oh my goodness.
So everything that we worked on got him to the point to get that contract, but now everything changes because now we have to look at different strategies to make sure that he's prepared. Another success story is a client showed up that did not have confidence in themselves. They would show up and just didn't believe in themselves. After 30 days, they were going to networking events, they were connecting me with other people at that event. We turned them into who they are just by allowing them to show up naturally, and they cannot show up wrong when they show up authentically.
Mm-hmm. Well, and because of going through that decision process, it definitely, that's what stopped me spinning so that I could show up. And I did know what I was doing, and I know where I'm going. And now I actually, when I do have ideas, I know how to implement that or look to see, is that part of my plan, or is that something that I need to, settle down and let's work on a different schedule.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
People often think that they need a better marketing, more customers, or more money. What problem are they actually trying to solve?
That depends. And that's what I love about this question is there is no one size fits all. Mm-hmm. If I were to put somebody into a box, that's just going to solve the problem of what that box is able to solve. So there are 9 pillars of business. It may be how they're showing up to lead others. It may be the financial aspect. It may be the technology, legal, human resources, operations, branding, marketing, sales, or customer experience. Whatever that is, it could be a HR problem. It could be a finance problem. It could be they don't have a process in place to make it consistent.
Hello, and welcome back. I'm Sandy Shook. This is Coffee with Sandy. Heard every Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. here on KRDO News Radio. To hear past shows, you can go to krdonewsradio.com and search podcasts to hear them all. If you're interested in being on the show or sponsoring the show, you can reach out to me by text at 719-339-9637. Our guest today is Mark Biddle with Connectionmmark. And now we have Ellen Rhodes that has joined us. If you remember her from last week.
I'm back.
And Ellen works with Mark at Connectionmmark, so I thought it would be appropriate for her to come in, harass both Mark and I now.
This is going to be so much fun.
Bring it, Ellen. All the questions you wanted to know, I'm at your disposal.
So do you want to ask a question? No.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Because it ties back to what Mark had originally said to you at one point, which was really talking about the marketing aspect of your shows and how they really provide some solid, tangible assets for the guests that are on your show. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Or should I ask Mark? Mark, what should she say?
What I love about what Sandy is building
Thank you.
is that it all comes from the heart. Sandy grew up in the Midwest. She understands how to develop relationships, but the curiosity that Sandy brings to interviewing an authentic relationship between one person to another, it feels like you're sitting down for coffee at a local coffee shop. And
Well,
that's
good.
what I appreciate
That's my
most about
intention.
you. Yeah.
Yes. All right, no more questions from you. They're too hard. But feel free to just put your finger up if you need, or your hand up.
I love that I can contribute so much.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for Mark? Because you've been working with him now for how long?
That is an excellent question.
Sandy, you introduced us, and I couldn't thank you enough, because getting to know Ellen over the past 5-6 months, really, she cares so much about this community. She is also starting to see how business owners are struggling in different aspects of their business, and she isn't leading with, you need to call, it's, what can we help support you with right now? And it's just been an amazing collaboration between Ellen, Connectionmmark, myself, the entire team, and the clients just love how she shows up, because she has a no BS attitude. And if she wants to know the question, she's going to ask it, and you are going to answer it.
And yet she's so polite. She wants to say something right now, and she can't.
I just want to say what he said.
Yeah, okay.
Ditto.
Well, good. Yes, and I believe that even somebody that actually came into one of the workshops, Ellen had invited this person, and I just saw the light bulb go off after being in the room after time, listening to everybody else around the table talk about different things that they have been struggling with. So if someone were listening today and feels overwhelmed in their business, you could say in life too, but just overwhelmed, I think that you really help a lot of people. That's not just even about business. It's about, helping them through just a crappy day sometimes, because you can get people, out of that little hole that they're digging themselves into. What's the first step that they should do?
Pause. Take a deep breath. Slow down. The business is still going to be there 10 minutes from now. And when it feels like the world is crumbling around you, just get up, walk around, take a deep breath. Business owners struggle with defining their personal time and their professional time. And at the same time, it is all intermingled into something else. So what's important to them? What priorities do they need to focus on? And just know that if you need anything, you can pick up the phone, contact Connectionmmark, and if we don't have the solution, we are going to introduce you to the hundreds of resources in town, because you need help and you need it now.
These workshops are great to come to. You have different workshops on Tuesdays, you have workshops on Wednesdays. I mean, you really engage in the community to offer those sort of things, right? I wanted to go back to you were talking about the 9 pillars, and I would really like it if you could actually explain those, or just name those off again, because I think they're very important in not only business, but also too in your life when you're trying to manage.
Yes. And it ties to, how can one person absolutely understand all 9 pillars? Leadership. We start a business because we are great at what we do. And we are great at what we do because we've been doing it for a very long time. But we've never owned a business, so we have to develop our leadership skills. And that is one of the first things. And it takes 6 to 18 months before someone can go from a technician to a leadership and actually guide and develop other people. Finance is important, because if there isn't any money to keep the lights on and the water warm, how are you going to invest in yourself to be able to put food on the table and get ready? But not only get ready, get from point A to point B. Technology, I start with, we have to know who we are before we can start implementing what we need to do on a daily basis to get us from where we are today to where we want to go tomorrow. Legal, I've seen too many contracts that have not been reviewed or developed by a professional. That is your first opportunity to protect yourself from what could go wrong, and many business owners are like, well, what could go wrong? Like, just wait and see. We cannot anticipate what that is, but we can plan for how we will respond. Human resources, 1099 HR, with 1099 W-2, we need to understand the difference between those, and we need to engage the people that we're bringing onto our team so that they know what they can and can't do and what we should and shouldn't be doing. Operations, branding, what are people saying about you when you're no longer in the room, marketing and sales. We got to get people interested in what we do, but we also have to ask them for that next step. And then last but not least, customer experience. Did they have a good experience, and is it consistent to what everyone else is doing?
That's awesome. And I'd like you to actually give people information of your contact information, how to reach you.
The easiest way to reach out to Connectionmark is by going to connectionmark.com, filling out a request for information, and just enter yourself into the information that we're going to provide. You can email Maisel, M-A-I-S-E-L, at connectionmark.com, or you can pick up the phone and call us, 719-313-1070. We want to not only be accessible, but affordable, and the first call for you to call when you don't know who to call.
Great. Well, and I wanted to thank you for being on the show today. Your website actually has the workshops and everything that are out there that I totally recommend people to actually come out and register for those days that are available for them to come in. Again, thank you, Mark Biddle with Connectionmark. And thank you, Ellen Rhodes with Connectionmark. It was great to have the two of you here. And we will see you next week on KRDO News Radio at 105.5 FM and 1240 AM. I'll have the coffee on and I'll be waiting for you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Sandy. This was so much fun. If you are looking to sponsor Sandy's Coffee with Sandy, I encourage you to reach out. One of the best ways to invest in this community is by supporting those that are telling and sharing authentic stories. I appreciate everything you do, and I cannot recommend you enough.
Thank you very much.